What's up, guys? I'm finally not a complete casual for this expansion anymore. When it comes to gold making, I've bit the bullet. I've started using trade chat and doing crafting orders. Yeah. Why? Well, it's obvious. It's top level gear. It's the most valuable thing you can buy. It's the thing that people are most willing to pay for. So I needed to get into it. So in Dragonflight, you can craft gear with these sparks that are unlocked gradually over time. You can craft epic gear that can be upgraded with a bunch of different item level effects, and it's really, really strong. Everyone wants to, if they can, at least for the embellishments. So everyone's gonna have two in their best in slot set essentially, which means that, well, you want to be selling them. I've started doing this. I've gotten a decent amount in crafting fees. I've probably made 40,000-50,000 gold over the last two days. So not huge amounts, but then again, I don't spend huge amounts sitting in trade chat. I've spent a little bit, and what time I spend, I try to generate some deals, and it's working out. You typically get deals from anywhere from 3,000 to 10,000 gold, possibly more. This is going to be realm dependent. That's what I've seen. So obviously the thing we're focusing on is the gear, the epic gear. So you do need a decent bit of knowledge, but you don't need to be completely maxed out. You need to be at a level where you can get to quality 5, particularly with some of these infusions that increase the recipe difficulty. But you can't max quality these without inspiration procs or using illustrious insight. But very, very few people do that. People are very happy to do just fish for inspiration procs essentially. So that's what you need. That does mean you need the inspiration node, 1000% for every profession. You want to max out the generic node, and then you need to max out a decent amount of the nodes necessary to craft a specific item. Now this does vary a bit between professions. The most important one is to unlock various nodes on the way that lets you, like this one, which lets you use optional reagents. And then there's, depending on, for some professions, there's other nodes, for rings, for instance, you need to put this to be allowed to put embellishments on them, which you really want to do. And then there's usually also some others on the way, like here you would need at least 15 points here to be able to use missives, which people absolutely want to do. And you need to get it all the way to 25 here, so you can actually do the power infusions for the higher item level. So exactly how these nodes are configured varies a bit between professions, but you do need typically 60 to 70 to 80 points in a specific recipe type node to be able to craft max quality at a reasonable rate. Then you want to have inspiration, have good profession tools. The skill here is also quite important because you need to be in inspiration range once you have done the plus 50 difficulty from this, and then plus 15 from the missive, and then another plus 25 from the embellishment. It's gonna stack up. So skill matters, but not that much. You don't need to be maxed out. I can, with this, even with missing the last 10 points in wristbands, I can perfectly fine. I can craft 476. I can craft 486 for both of these for this. So you don't need to be maxed out, but you do need to have a strong build. About 130, 140, 150 total knowledge is typically the requirement. Now, once you have the profession ready to go, you need your clients. And where are you going to find them? You're going to find them in trade chat. You're going to find them in this absolute flood of spam. At least if you're in a hype up realm, it's going to be as unwatchable as this. So how on earth are you going to get your name in here? Are you going to type out a message like that? Well, no, that's a complete waste of time, obviously. We're going to turn to add-ons for help, as always. We're going to use an add-on called Auto Flood, which is pretty simple. It does exactly what you expect based on the name. It lets you post a specific chat message to a specific trade channel or a channel at a specified rate. So every 10 seconds, every 15 seconds, every 30 seconds, every 4 minutes. That's what I do on this realm, or on Alliance, because there's not that many people here. On Horde, you need to do a lot more often, because this is getting spammed on my Horde realm, right? On the Horde side of this realm, because that's where all the players are. What I've found is actually I get a lot more deals on Alliance on Draenor, because there aren't as many people competing for the same jobs. There's still obviously a lot fewer people looking for deals here, but there's also so much less spam. So whenever they need a deal, they actually buy it from me. So it's pretty nice. Now to set up, there's a couple of, well, as we can see, I just generated an order. Nice. Now to set up, there's a couple of simple chat commands. The first one is flood message, like this, and then you type out your message. Obviously you want to use profession links, so you can do that. If you're writing, just click somewhere else on the screen, and then you can open your profession window like this. You can add tailoring, then you can go into tailoring, and you can like link specific recipes, which is how people are doing it. There's also some options for like changing the colors of stuff. I've never done that, but obviously you want to stand out because there's tons of people potentially in trade chat. So I would suggest not just to do what everyone else is doing, like just links to your profession. Link your profession, that's necessary. Maybe link a recipe or two, and then try to have something that catches the attention. I would try with maybe a stupid joke or something like that. Doesn't have to be good, or maybe like a call to action, like for marketing. Just tell them like, hey, want to beat all your guildies in DPS? Come get 486 items from me, and then link your professions. Anything to make it not seem exactly the same as everyone else in trade chat. So that's the flood message. That's the first thing you set. Then it's the flood chan, and then the number of the channel, typically 2 for trade chat. Then you need to set the duration, or rather the rate. How often should this message be posted? You do that flood rate and then space, and then you add. So on this realm where there's not that many other people in trade chat, I have it set to post every 4 minutes or every 240 seconds. We don't need to absolutely crank. On Drain or on Horde, where, well, trade chat is getting absolutely spammed, you need to set it to post significantly more often. Now, as for how much to charge, once you get someone to bite and whisper you need to tell them how much you charge. I would suggest, I've been getting tons of deals at just 7,000, 5,000 gold. People are willing to pay that, so it might even be worth going higher. If you're completely unsure, just go into trade chat and whisper a couple of people who are looking to sell services. That'll get you an idea of what people are charging. Maybe try it like 4 or 5 different people, so you get maybe you get lucky or unlucky and you whisper the cheapest guy on your server first time. Then you get an idea of what the market is, and then you can charge accordingly. Now, if you want to do stuff where you use illustrious insight, so a typical example is these primal stat gems. If I use illustrious insight, then I can guarantee maximum quality with quality 3 materials. So if you're doing stuff like that, then make sure you charge extra. It's about 10k going rate for using illustrious insight, which you definitely want to charge extra for, because you can't farm these infinitely. But then on the other hand, you also want to get rid of them, because this is the final patch of Dragonflight. But yeah, that's it. And then this scales really well with your time spent in trade chat. Obviously, you can't get deals if you're not actually there, ready to whisper back and get the deals done. So it is not super lazy, you need to pay attention, but it's pretty easy gold. Yeah,